back to a Shot of Sublime, where we're going to get a little bit higher with Sublime. They'd released 40 Ounces of Freedom at some point in 1992, and this, with Sublime releases, they're pretty varied in availability. So, like, it was different cassette pressings and different CD pressings, and eventually they were picked up by a label. So, like, there was the self-press stuff and, like, different label press stuff, and they would tweak track listings. Most typically, Get Out was cut out instead of, like, the remix version we later got on Secondhand Smoke. You can find the original recording of Get Out with the proper phone call in there and all the samples in there on the... Was it the Pure Anus? No. Well, there's a bootleg on it that has it. But I can't seem to remember the name of it now. Dang it, and I didn't write it down. It's totally not Pure Anus. It's totally... I think it starts with a C? Contact Buzz? Yeah, I think that's it. Contact Buzz has the unedited version of Get Out with, like, the radio appearance recording before that. It's fun. Alright, so moving into, like, 1993, I guess, we have quite a bit more activity. So obviously, like, 40 Ounces Freedoms is getting around, and they're playing more shows, and, like, their profile is going up. They're getting radio play with, like, Date Rape and all that stuff. And they record their first demo in, I guess, like, I don't think they were really thinking about it, but in what would shape up to be part of their second album proper, later to be titled Robbin the Hood, my personal favorite. What they pressed the Chiva Kenevil tape at some point in earlier 93, and this featured the Electric Pool Shark, Saw Red, Falling Idols, STP, Crazed Hits, All You Need, and Drunk Drivin'. So, like, basically most of, if not all, of the studio recorded tracks on Robbin the Hood that were recorded at, I want to say, West Beach Recorders in Hollywood. Yeah, it even says that on, like, the tape. Yeah, West Beach Recorders, 93. Also produced by Elephant Levitation. And then at some unspecified amount of time after the Chiva Kenevil tape, which also has, like, the cool artwork, like, of, like, the koi fish and the wave. That's just awesome. They released the Raleigh Theodore Sakers tape later on in 1993, and this featured all three Raleigh soliloquies. That was it. I didn't take note if they actually pressed any songs to it. I thought they might have, but I didn't take note of it, so it may have just really just been Raleigh ranting. But I think it was the same edits as we see on the Robbin the Hood album. That's a little bit later. Oh, let's see here. A live show on March 5th, 1994, featured the debut, or potential debut, of Pawnshop, Johnny Butt, and oh shit, I jumped up a year, no wonder. Okay, well still, it's a fascinating concert, looked great. March 5th, 1994 in Irvine, California. I played a lot of stuff, obviously. They had solidified STP, Greatest Hits, and Saw Red, and Pool Shark, Falling Idols into their sets, along with classics like Don't Push, Right Back, 40 Ounces of Freedom, Let's Go Get Stoned. Yeah, but this night they were introducing Pawnshop, Shark, Ballad, Johnny Butt. I'll talk about more of that later when I get to the Sublime episode. I didn't mean to jump up that way. I just thought I was in 1994. But going back to 1993, doesn't look like I actually have any shows from 1993 to document, but I know I tried looking them up. Oh, I guess there would be... After pressing these tapes, and they still weren't really Bradley wasn't ready for like new full band like recordings, like the 6 songs pressed onto the Chiva Kenevil tape is pretty much what he had, beyond like the acoustic stuff that he was writing at that time. And this is when he was starting to do heroin, so he was real high and jamming out more acoustically than doing the full band stuff after having done the Chiva Kenevil tape. And evidence that he was starting the heroin, because that's Pool Shark opened that tape up. The electric one, yeah. So they did a day of recording these acoustic versions, where they have Don't Push, that was later amended to the end of the Raleigh Soliloquy Part 3, Boss DJ, Freeway Time in an LA County Jail, and the acoustic version of Pool Shark. And presumably at some point after this, they would be hanging around in like crack houses, various dens of that sort, and do all the other experiments like, the Waiting for Bud, Steady Be Looped. Oh, is Waiting for Bud like a studio track? Kind of, maybe. It's not one of the more dub ones. So I don't know when they would have done that though, because unless they did it at another session like where they were doing like Greatest Hits and Saw Red and all that stuff. Like, same with Work That We Do. But who knows? Like, so maybe they went back at some point, or did it and didn't press them on the Chiva Kenevil or the Raleigh Theodore. Yeah, but like more conventional stuff like that was still done. And then we got the dubs. All the dubs, like Steady Be Loop dub. We got Step and Razor and Free Loop dub and the little cue ball thing, which is just, I guess, they had this other rapper just record him while they were getting fucked up. And Cisco Kid. And the Lincoln Highway dub, which would become Santeria, and is one of the absolute best songs on this collection of phenomenal songs and experiments. I actually like Lincoln Highway dub more than Santeria. And, man, I feel like it was totally meant to be included with the acoustic, on that acoustic day where they did Don't Push, Boss DJ, and Freeway Time, and Pool Shark. Was probably Mary, and I Don't Care Too Much for Reggae Dub. But I guess, really, that's just Bradley, acoustic, and a tape recorder, so I guess it doesn't really have to have been done in that same session. But what was noteworthy, yeah, and they wouldn't have been, never mind. Well, maybe I Don't Care Too Much for Reggae Dub, because it's got everyone else around, but I know on the Don't Push, Boss DJ, Freeway Time, Pool Shark, we had Bud Gaw playing congas, and we had Eric Wilson on a pump organ to help flush out the sound there. And, Looks like there's another hidden song at the end of Raleigh Soliloquy Part 3, The Farther I Go, which is a Mudhoney cover. Very, very cool. Very cool. And, like, so, I just named off everything that was on Robbin the Hood. In various dens in Long Beach recording. There was also one final STP demo following the Chiva Kenevil and the Raleigh Soliloquies one. It would be Secret Tweaker Pad demo 93, which featured Raleigh 1, Pull Shark, Saw Red, Falling Idols, All You Need, Freeway Time in an LA County Jail, Secret Tweaker Pad, Raleigh 2, Greatest Hits, Boss DJ, and Raleigh 3, but here it was titled You Don't Know What Love Is. That's pretty much it for Robbin the Hood. There was these 2 tracks on Everything Under the Sun as well. Actually, there's several. Like, I feel like all those live in studio stuffs that we got there, why did I close the track listing for that? I can remedy this real fast. But, like, there's these 4-track recordings of Angelo, which isn't that exciting of a song, so I don't blame them for not pursuing that one further. And Mic Control, which, you know, obviously became part of the Greatest Hits, which was good. But there was also, like, these little live in studios. Like, there was, like, the Greatest Hits extended version, which they would later play on in concert. And I'll get it real fast. I'm here. Yeah, so, like, the farther I go, yeah, obviously, which they appended to the end of Raleigh Soliloquy Part 3. And they did the One Cup of Coffee, Judge Not, and Lou Makes Friends. The early version of Greatest Hits there, yeah. So I feel like those were all during some sessions for this album. Presumably, like, yeah. Just because, like, the whole compilation of Everything Under the Sun is ostensibly in, like, order of, like, 88 or 88 and up. So I would imagine that the Angelo and Mic Control were early 4-track recordings in contention for what would become Robbin the Hood, and then Farther I Go would be, yeah, obviously just the recording there, not attached. One Cup of Coffee, Judge Not, was really high quality stuff, and I'm surprised that they didn't put that on there. Although, yeah, as long as it would fit, and, like, I could put it after, like, Mary, maybe, and in between Raleigh Soliloquy Part 3, or maybe before Mary and after Freeway Time. I don't know. It'd be pretty funny to put that after I Don't Care Too Much for Reggae Dub instead of Falling Idols, but I love Falling Idols, so I don't really know how I would adjust the album here for that. But I believe that is all for my favorite Sublime album of Robbin the Hood. I guess probably just do one more shot of Sublime, because unfortunately the career of this band was tragically cut short. But I'll probably also tackle Long Beach Dub All Stars at some point. Probably not Sublime with Rome, because fuck that. But until next time.